Welcome to Lesson 1 of our signature course on leadership, Understanding and Mastering Leadership Styles. This lesson is specifically designed for senior lawyers and consultants. Today, we will explore various leadership styles, providing detailed definitions, practical examples, and actionable steps to help you identify and develop your leadership style. Leadership is multifaceted and adaptable. Different situations and team dynamics call for different approaches. We will discuss 6 key leadership styles: transformational, transactional, situational, servant, democratic, and autocratic. Each style has its unique characteristics and can be effective in various scenarios. By the end of this lesson, you will have a clear understanding of these styles and how to apply them in your professional life. Before we jump into the leadership styles, it's important to acknowledge that some traditional leadership concepts are outdated and can sometimes perpetuate stereotypes and inappropriate behavior. In our course, we focus on modern, inclusive, and ethical leadership practices that respect and empower all team members, regardless of any individual characteristics or background. Leadership styles. Leadership styles are the behaviors and attitudes that leaders use to direct, motivate, and manage their teams. As senior lawyers and consultants, your leadership style can significantly impact team performance, client satisfaction, and overall success. In fast-paced, high-stakes environments, understanding and mastering different leadership styles is key to maintaining efficiency and achieving outstanding results. You might be asking yourself, but how do I choose the right leadership style? Leadership style can depend on personality type, the characteristics of team members, and the specific situation at hand. Different styles may be more effective depending on, but not limited to, the following variables. Personality type. Some leadership styles may align more naturally with your personality. For example, someone who is naturally charismatic may find transformational leadership a good fit, while a highly organized individual might excel in transactional leadership. Team members. The needs, experience, and competencies of your team members can influence which leadership style to use. For instance, situational leadership requires adapting your style based on the maturity and capability of your team members. Situational context. The specific circumstances, including the urgency of decisions and the nature of the task, also play a role. In a crisis situation, an autocratic leadership style might be necessary for quick decision-making, whereas the democratic leadership style might be best for fostering team creativity in a stable environment. Understanding these factors will help you choose and adapt the most appropriate leadership style for any given situation. Let's look at each style with practical examples to help you grasp the concept. Transformational leadership. Transformational leadership focuses on inspiring and motivating team members to achieve extraordinary outcomes and develop their own leadership capacity. This style emphasizes vision, inspiration, and a strong commitment to organizational goals. Here's a quick look at when to use transformational leadership. Best for driving change and innovation. Effective in environments that require a strong vision and high level of motivation. Ideal for teams that need inspiration and empowerment. Here's a practical example. As an elite soccer coach, I once focused too heavily on the big picture, neglecting the immediate needs of my team. This led to confusion and lack of direction in day-to-day tactics and practices, ultimately impact on our team performance. It taught me the importance of balancing visionary leadership with attention to details. Let's look at a situation here. How many times have you either seen or been the senior leader who leaves after a long day of work before your junior team members who still have long hours of work left? If you had stepped in and supported, everyone could have gone home earlier, right? It's disheartening for juniors to see seniors leave while they have still a lot of work to do. While seniors shouldn't always take on juniors' tasks, the occasional gesture of support, especially during tough weeks, makes a significant impact. This act of support not only promotes great team dynamics, but also enhances overall well-being. Here are some development steps you could adopt. Encourage and model innovative thinking. Challenge your team to think outside the box and reward creative solutions. Recognize and reward individual and team achievements. Regularly acknowledge and celebrate successes, both big and small. For example, invite your team for dinner and drinks after completing a deal or a project. Promote a clear vision and communicate it effectively. Ensure that everyone understands the larger goal and their role in achieving it. An oversimplified example is explaining to a junior why their due diligence work during the MA process will impact the outcome of a deal negotiation or a client project. This initiative often helps motivate them. I want you to take a moment to reflect here. Think about your day-to-day client work and identify examples where you can create a clear vision. How can you communicate how each team member's contribution helps achieve that vision or goal? The simple exercise takes just a few minutes, but can have a profound motivational impact on your team. Transactional leadership. Transactional leadership centers on the role of supervision, organization, and group performance, using rewards and addressing negative consequences to motivate team members. This style is effective in maintaining clear structures and achieving consistent performance. So when to use it? Suitable for routine and structured environments, effective for managing tasks with clear objectives and timelines. Best when tasks require a high level of consistency and predictability. Practical example. In the educational settings, we implemented a system where clear milestones were set for course development and bonuses were given for meeting deadlines. This approach ensured that everyone knew exactly what was expected and had a tangible incentive to stay on track. While it might seem rigid, it helped maintain high standards and consistent delivery. Senior lawyers and consultants can apply this by setting clear milestones for projects, such as a client case milestone or a consulting project phase, and offering incentive for meeting these deadlines. It ensures clarity, accountability, and consistent high-quality performance. Development steps. Establish clear goals and expectations. Make sure everyone knows what is required and by when. Implement a structured reward system and address negative behaviors professionally. Use incentives to encourage desired behaviors and handle negative behaviors with constructive feedback and professional consequences. Maintain consistent and transparent communication. Keep everyone informed about their progress and any changes in expectations. Now we know what it looks like to apply transactional leadership in a perfect scenario with positive outcomes. However, we know that that's not always the case. Here's an example of how to apply this leadership style when things don't go so well. After a junior associate misses a filing deadline, the senior partner meets with them to discuss what went wrong. The partner emphasizes the importance of deadlines and clarifies task priorities. They determined that the associate was overwhelmed and unclear about priorities. They developed a clear plan with measurable goals and timelines. The associate receives a formal warning and has their progress monitored and receives ongoing feedback. As the associate improves, the partner acknowledges the progress and moves forward. Again, please take a moment and think about your last performance conversation with a junior team member where you had to deliver negative feedback. Did you maintain consistent and transparent communication throughout the conversation? Could you improve your communication in these situations? Situational leadership. Situational leadership adapts to the maturity and competence of team members and the specific situation at hand, offering flexible approach that adjusts based on needs. This style ranges from directive to supportive behaviors, depending on the context. So when to use it? Ideal for dynamic environments with varying levels of team member experience. Effective when leading diverse teams with different needs. Best for leaders who need to be adaptable and responsive to changing circumstances. A practical example. While coaching sports, I noticed that new players need more direct guidance and structure, while experienced players benefited from more autonomy and opportunities to lead. By adjusting my approach based on the individual needs and capabilities of my players, I was able to maximize each person's contribution and development. In professional service, this means tailoring your leadership approach based on the experience and skills of your team members. Provide more guidance to less experienced team members and greater autonomy to those who are more seasoned, ensure that everyone can contribute effectively. Development steps. Assess team members' skills and experience. Understand the strengths and weaknesses of each individual. Flexibility shift between directive and supportive behaviors. Provide more guidance to those who need it and more freedom to those who can handle it. Continuously evaluate and adjust leadership approach as situations evolve. Be prepared to change your style as the team or individual circumstances change. The ball is in your court now. Think about your team members and their individual needs. Who requires more guidance and why? Is it due to their junior status or their personality type? Consider who among your team can handle more freedom and why. While it's often easier to work with those who are more self-sufficient, providing support and guidance to junior members can accelerate their development, enabling them to take more responsibility. Encourage autonomy and solution finding wherever possible, but offer guidance when needed. Reflect on how you can balance these approaches to foster growth and independence within your team. Servant leadership. Servant leadership prioritizes the needs of the team members and focuses on serving others to enhance their performance and development. This style is characterized by empathy, active listening, and a commitment to personal development. It's effective in creating a supportive and empowering work environment. It's best for fostering team loyalty and collaboration. Also, ideal for leaders who prioritize team member growth and well-being. A practical example. As an educational leader, I found that my most effective approach was to support my faculty and staff in every possible way. This meant actively listening to their concerns, providing resources, and removing obstacles that hindered their performance. By putting their needs first, I was able to create a supportive environment where everyone felt valued and motivated to do their best job. You will frequently find this kind of leadership style in business service leaders. They are there to support you and make you better so you can offer your best for clients. Development steps. Actively listen to team members' concerns and needs. Show genuine interest in their well-being and professional growth. Promote a structure of trust and empowerment. Encourage team members to take initiatives and make decisions. Lead by example, showing humility and empathy. Be willing to help others, showing that they are part of your team. But Daniel, isn't this the same thing you said about transformational leadership? The answer is yes and no. Yes, both servant leadership and transformational leadership aim to elevate team performance and foster a positive organizational culture. The main difference is that servant leaders prioritize the immediate well-being and growth of their team members, whereas transformational leaders emphasize inspiring and challenging their teams to achieve goals. I want you to take a moment to reflect on your team members' concerns and needs. If nothing specific comes to mind, it might be time for a conversation. I understand that in your fast-paced environment, it's easy for the conversations to get overlooked. However, you don't always have to solve every problem. Sometimes, simply listening can make a significant difference. Engaging with your team in this way can foster a more supportive and productive atmosphere. Democratic leadership. Democratic leadership involves team members in decision-making processes, ensuring their input and feedback are considered. This collaborative approach fosters creativity and engagement by valuing diverse opinions. Practical example. During my time managing teams, I held quarterly meetings where team members could voice their opinions on operational challenges and new initiatives. This collaborative approach not only led to better decisions, but also increased buy-in and commitment from team members. People are more invested in outcomes that they have a say in. It doesn't mean that you must take time from your already busy schedule to do it. Many professional service firms that I know have established associate committees or advisory boards that regularly provide ideas on operational changes. Development steps. Encourage open communication and active participation. Create forums where team members can share their ideas and opinions. Facilitate collaborative decision-making processes. Use techniques like brainstorming sessions and consensus building to make decisions. Value and integrate diverse perspectives and ideas. Recognize the unique contributions of each team member and use them to enhance the overall outcome. Consider ways to empower your team by providing a forum where everyone can voice their opinions. Ensure that all voices are heard, not just the loudest ones in the room. Autocratic leadership. Autocratic leadership centralizes decision-making power, with leaders making decisions independently and expecting strict compliance. This style is effective when quick, decisive actions is required. Here's a practical example. In an urgent situation, such as when there was a sudden deadline for an accreditation report, I had to take an autocratic approach. I made quick decisions and expected immediate compliance to ensure we met the deadline. While this style isn't always preferred, it can be effective when quick and decisive action is required. I want you to be very careful here. Autocratic leadership is commonly found in professional leadership firms due to high stakes and fast-paced nature of law and consulting. However, it's important not to rely solely on this style. Modern leaders should be adaptive, utilizing a diverse set of leadership tools rather than defaulting to the easiest approach. Autocratic leadership can particularly frustrate younger generations who want to feel valued and heard. While every leadership style has its place and value, it is important to balance them appropriately. Development steps. Set clear guidelines and expectations. Ensure everyone knows what is expected and the reasons behind decisions. Ensure decisions are well informed and justified. Base your decisions on solid information and reasoning. Balance authority with approachability to maintain morale. While making decisions independently, be open to feedback and willing to explain your rationale. Take a moment to reflect on how often you use autocratic leadership. In professional service environments, it is easy to default to this style because it seems quicker. However, mixing up your leadership styles can significantly boost your team's performance. Explaining your decisions and rationale can be a powerful tool to increase productivity. Give it a try. Identify and developing your leadership style. Now that we have an understanding of the different leadership styles, let's move on to identifying your own style and developing it further. Identifying your leadership style is the first step towards enhancing your effectiveness as a leader. Here are some steps you can take to identify your inherent leadership style. Steps to identify your leadership style. Self-assessment. Reflect on past leadership experiences and outcomes. Consider situations where you felt you were at your best and analyze what made those moments successful. Leadership assessments. Utilize various tools to gain insight into your leadership style. These assessments typically involve answering questions about your behaviors, preferences, and attitudes. The results provide a detailed profile of your leadership style, highlighting strengths and areas for development. Understanding your style helps tailor your approach to better suit your team and the demands of your role. Here's the importance. In fast-paced, high-stakes environments, being aware of your own leadership style helps you make more informed decisions and adapt quickly to changing circumstances. You will act more confidently in critical leadership situations. These assessments provide valuable insight that enhance self-awareness and leadership effectiveness. I highly recommend taking one of these assessments as the results will provide interesting insights. Recommended assessments would include Myers-Briggs Type Indicator, or MBTI, helps you understand your personality traits and how they influence your leadership style. It will provide insights into team members' personalities to improve communication and collaboration. DISC assessment examines your behavior tendencies and how they impact your leadership approach. It will assist you in understanding your behavioral tendencies and how they affect team interactions. It helps in creating balanced and effective teams by recognizing and leveraging diverse behavioral styles. Hogan assessment. It provides deep insight into personality traits, potential derailers, and the culture you create. It's particularly useful for predicting performance and fit within a team. 360-degree feedback. Collects feedback from peers, subordinates, and superiors to get a comprehensive view of your strengths and areas for improvement. It provides a holistic view of leaders' performance and areas for improvement. Encourages leaders to develop a well-rounded and objective understanding of their leadership impact. You will find more information and a list of other online assessments in our accompanying PDF. Developing your leadership style. Once you have identified your leadership style, the next step is to develop and refine it. Here are some practical steps to help you on this journey. Practical steps. Number 1, set personal development goals. Identify specific areas for improvement. For instance, if you tend to be more autocratic, aim to develop a more democratic approach by involving your team in decision-making processes. The goal is to diversify your leadership style and tools. Seek continuous learning. Participate in leadership training programs and workshops. Engage in professional development opportunities that focus on enhancing your leadership skills. Stay updated with the latest leadership theories and practices by reading books, watching peakleap's latest courses, and following thought leaders in the field. I understand that firm-provided courses can sometimes seem pointless, but try to take away 1 or 3 things that might improve your leadership. Leadership knowledge should never be stagnant. It should be continuously developed. Mentorship and coaching. Engage with mentors or executive coaches to gain insight and guidance. A mentor can provide valuable feedback and share their experience to help you grow. Remember what Bill Gates once said, "Every champion needs a coach." Actively seek feedback and implement suggestions to improve your leadership style. Most senior leaders I know have worked with a coach at some point in their careers, and many managing partners or chairpersons currently work with executive coaches. Discussing personal leadership issues and strategic decisions with peers can be challenging, which is why having an outside coach can be so beneficial. Senior leaders often hire coaches privately and confidentially, providing them with a trusted sparring partner and confidant. Practice and reflect. Apply new leadership strategies in your daily practices. Experiment with different approaches and see how they impact your team's performance. Regularly review your actions and their results to continually refine your leadership style. Take notes in whatever format works best for you to help your reflection. A significant aspect of leadership is communication. In Lesson 5 of our BD course, we discuss different thinking styles that can improve your communication with both clients and your team. Revisit those thinking styles and apply those insights to elevate your leadership communication. Here's a fun fact. I know a partner who keeps the thinking styles on a sticky note next to his screen. Before sending any communication, he ensures his message considers all these styles. Conclusion. Leadership is a dynamic and evolving practice. When you understand and develop your leadership style, you can enhance your effectiveness and make a significant impact on your team and organization. Utilize the assessments and practical steps provided in this course to continue growing as a leader. Remember, the journey of leadership development is continuous, and every experience is an opportunity to learn and improve. Thank you for joining me in this first lesson of our signature course on leadership. I look forward to continue this journey with you in our next lesson, where we will explore ethical leadership aspects to further enhance your leadership capabilities. Until then, make sure you visit the accompanying PDF. Take what you have learned today and start applying it in your daily professional life. See you next time.